Hi guys, welcome back to Jam Jam Productions presents Let's Talk Production. Today we are joined by Lilly Green. Oh my god, it's Lilly Green! Oh my god!
It's me.
And Lilly is a drama teacher. Ooh, fancy pudding. So let's just dive straight into that. How long have you been doing teaching for?
So I'm going into my 5th year in September.
Fifth
It'll be
year,
my
wow.
5th year, yeah. But I've only been teaching drama for 2 years officially. So,
Okay, what did you do before that? Was it Spanish, was it?
yeah, so Spanish before.
What one did you prefer?
Drama. But,
Okay.
yeah, I still teach Spanish at my current school, so I do like teaching Spanish as well.
Okay,
But yeah, drama's got my heart. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And you went to university.
Yeah.
How did you find going to university in the UK? Was that a good experience doing drama at university, or was it a strange one? Or
Yeah, so I went to LIPA, which is Liverpool Institute for Performing Arts, and it was the best 3 years of my life. Liverpool is an amazing city. If you've not been, you should go. Really,
this isn't a trailer or anything.
no, it's not. But it's really cheap drinks if you like drinking. But no, it's a good city, like loads of culture, everything. And yeah, so I went there, but I never thought I'd actually go there.
Right. Okay.
I never thought I'd go to uni, but then I went, auditioned, and loved it, and then really hoped that I got in. Found out I got in, and it was obviously hard to leave my friends, my family, everything like that. But yeah, it was
new changes, new adventure,
yeah,
everything like that.
new
But like you said,
city,
you went, you done it, and it was the best time of your life.
It was best 3 years, honestly, and learnt so much about myself, so much about drama and the field and everything like that. And loved my course.
Yeah. So you hear that, Mum and Dad?
Yeah.
Best time of my life.
Yeah. Don't tell them that. Cut that bit.
But yeah, no, I spoke to previous people and they've had mixed reviews about university, saying it worked for them, it didn't work for them. I had a few people who really did their courses sort of a few times over to find the right thing, but you really got on with it, you really enjoyed it.
I think it's hard because I think as a uni I loved it. I loved my course. I learnt so much about myself. I learned that's how I'm a drama teacher because I studied it there. Did I become a successful actress or director that I wanted to be? No.
At the moment in time?
At the moment, yes.
You've still got a lot of way to go. Don't put yourself in that box just yet.
No, I think a lot of people go to drama school and think that they're going to become actresses like that and meet the agents and meet everything. And actually it's a lot harder than it's made out, and it's not fame. It's not like the films that we see, and it is actually really hard graft, and the industry itself is just hard.
Yeah.
But it's possible, and actually you still make contacts that I've still got contacts that you can talk to and maybe do stuff in the future and things.
Yeah. Well, how did you find that coming out of uni? Like you said, did you find it hard, or did you just go straight into I'm going to teach, or was it like a bit of a strange period?
It was a bit of a strange period. So I graduated in 2019, so obviously just before COVID happened. So I sort of came out.
Perfect time.
Yeah, so I came out and there was talk to me and my friend were thinking of setting up our own drama company. We always wanted to do like a drama company, maybe like theatre and education, something like that. But I think we was a bit hesitant, and because we'd just done 3 years at uni, we didn't have a gap year, like I didn't go travelling or anything like that, but used it as sort of a, right, let's get saving again, let's start earning some money again. So just worked in my job on the river. Still doing that, and then
job on the river. You make it sound very luxurious.
On the River Thames, working for a sightseeing company, serving drinks behind the bar.
A bit of exposure to that.
Yeah, a little bit of a different world. It was definitely like it was bar staff basically, but a little bit more different.
We all have to do what we have to do essentially to be able to pay the bills, get into that first job. We can't all just jump, like you said, into Hollywood and come out of university.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when I was doing that, I was then looking into agents and things like that, but then started to realise obviously the price of how expensive they are.
Yeah,
how
agents, yeah.
Yeah, outpricing us completely, definitely.
Well, I know, especially some of them who charge you, 33.3% or 40%, or some of them out there who pretend to be agents and say, oh, we want X amount of money up front before we even do anything, just to bring you on our books. Plus, we want you to use our photographer who we want you to have headshots with. They're going to charge you £200.
Yeah.
Plus, we want admin fee. Plus.
And there was one instance where actually I'd got an email, oh my God, we'd like to welcome you onto our books. I was like, oh my God, that's so exciting. Really good. Went to London with my mum because I was a bit like, oh, you hear dodgy people. My mum was like, right, dodgy people, can't have that. No one's taking my girl. So me and my mum, obviously 2 Londoners, I don't know what we thought we were going to do.
Linking arms, walking down that road.
All clear. But then had all the headshots. They did me a makeover. I looked the most glamorous I've ever looked in my life.
Okay, yeah.
And then at the end they were like, oh yeah, but it's going to cost you like $3,000 or whatever else. I can't even remember the price, but I was just like, yeah, no, that's not happening then. Like that's
So you essentially went there, done the photos, done the shoot, and then they went, here, if you want them, here's what it costs.
Here's what it costs.
And they didn't say anything about it.
No, here's what you need to, if you want to be on our books, you've got to pay this price to get the photos,
Really?
and then this is it. And then I was like, it's obviously a scam. So there's so many scammers out there. And then I think, then COVID hit, so it sort of scared me a little bit into being like, oh my God, it's a really unreliable industry, unfortunately. Like, you can't rely on the money.
I'm not going to say no, yeah.
It's one of them, because I think my heart's in it. So then that's why I went into teaching in the end, is because I was like, do you know what, try and do something. And wanted to be a drama teacher straight off, didn't really want to teach Spanish, but because there was no support for training to become a drama teacher. For that at the time, yeah. Whereas there was to teach Spanish, so they gave you like a bit of money and a bit of bursary that basically pay you to learn to teach.
Okay.
So I did the Spanish route, did that in a school, become head of department, and then in my new school I've become where I can teach drama and Spanish. So
well, I think that was a nice stepping stone for you, wasn't it? So to get you in the door, like they say, and then moved you on to what more you want to do, essentially.
Yeah, and keeps your options open, and definitely keeps my options open, providing me that like stability.
Yeah.
But it's hard, because then it's like, again, like, you talk to people and it's like, oh, you happy being stable? And I'm like, part of me is like, no, I wish I could be like waitressing and then go to auditions all the time. But I can't. Equally, I can't go to auditions when I'm teaching, because all of the auditions are in day in the weekday.
Yeah,
can't
of course.
do it,
and some of them want you to physically be there because they want to physically see, especially a lot of commercial things, which is more what they want you for when you're starting out. Exactly. It's very hard to be like, I'm going to come audition for McDonald's and stand in a queue for 2 hours and be seen for 5 minutes and go, hello, my name is Jamie. Okay, thank you very much. Bye bye. I've been to ones before where literally I've waited 2 hours, walked in, said hello, and they've gone, okay, next. And
and there's nothing you can do, and you can't be angry about it, because that's just the system goes. But obviously as well with teaching, it's not even like if an audition come up, you could be like, I need a day annual leave, I can book it off. Like you can't leave the kids in there with no teacher. Yeah, you can't be like, right kids, I'm going to go pursue my dreams. Good luck. See you later. Work from the textbook.
You want to be actors as well? Maybe try again next year.
Yeah, it's a really hard field, don't it? But no, so it's definitely different. But it is nice being able to teach drama and teach kids what I love, like showing your passion for it. I think that's nice.
Well, at least you're enjoying it in teaching, because people find it difficult, especially with people nowadays. But I suppose if the kids are there for the passion for it, as you said, and you want to be there, it's that nice in between.
I think teaching it definitely has ups and downs, like every job, right? But I think generations are changing and things like that. But I think the thing that I find frustrating about teaching drama is that a lot of it is actually written. So a lot of the exam is written and not actually performance-based, whereas I think most
Which makes sense, doesn't it? That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Let's like, that's everyone
I'm going to do a performing arts
critic,
course,
right?
and then I want you to write an essay, please.
Yeah, exactly. Because all of those theatre critics out there, which is a valuable job, not saying it's not, but I think most people choose drama because they want to perform or boost their confidence or whatever.
Express themselves, essentially, I got this little thought in the back of my mind. I'm just waiting for some of your students to pop up now and watch this.
Yeah, literally. It'd be like, Miss Green doesn't inspire me. I hope I do some of them, anyway.
Well, if you're there, guys, comment in the comments.
Yeah. Just pretend, please, for my own sanity.
But no, it's really nice to hear that you're enjoying it, because especially going to say you want to be an actor and then going to teaching to teach other people is obviously quite a big leap on that. Are you still applying yourself for outside jobs and opportunities, or have you kind of stopped that because teaching took over at the moment?
I've kind of stopped it because teaching has took over, but I think I'd definitely like to get back into it. So I'm sort of in the middle of starting to write a play, like getting ideas together about writing a play.
Yeah.
Maybe take inspiration from you and start setting up stuff. But no, I think you're, where you're more like cameras, things like that, I'm definitely more like theatre. And I think, I'd like to write a play, maybe put that on, because I feel like in a way that would be easier than going for auditions and actually being starring in it.
But well, no, obviously I did a lot of the Clark and Bourne stuff, didn't I? Which was more stagey and sort of a double act stuff, which was donkey's years ago now. Sorry, Ben, I didn't mean to mention your name. But
it does feel like ages ago you did that.
But I did that sort of stuff, and that was interesting. I'll say it's a great experience to be, as the previous comedian Steer come on said, it's an amazing experience to be on the stage and have that reaction from the audience of something you've created, or even like you said, wrote yourself, and have that reaction in the room then and there. And then you have to go to the co-op the next day and buy your pack of crisps.
Yeah, literally, and see all the people that's like, I really like your shirt. Yeah, thanks. Just buying my reduced section bits.
But no, I really applaud you for going that way and trying to write your own play. Is it something you're going to do like a local theatre, or are you thinking maybe I'm going to take it big and try and take it fringe, or have you not really thought? Was that just I'm going to write a play? But
I think do you know what? It's been one of the things that since uni I've wanted to write a play, and me and my friends spoke about doing it together, and I'd like to get back in touch with him and do it together and stuff like that. And I think it's something that I've always wanted to do. How big it goes, I don't know. Obviously, I'd love it to take off, go to fringe and become a thing. But I think let's start small steps and maybe have...
Well, hey, Fringe Festival, if you're listening, you know.
Yeah, valuable. Do you know what I mean? I've got good ideas. It's just having the way to articulate them sometimes is a bit harder.
I'm saying all the right words, just not necessarily in the right order.
Yeah, literally. So, yeah.
Well, no, at least, like you said, you've not just given up and gone, I'm going to teach, and you're sitting there, you're saying you want to get back into the game, you want to try and write. Have you got any plans for that writing yet, or is it just really early stages
it's just
yet?
Early stages, brainstorming. I've got
I was waiting for you to pull a 200-page script out of your pocket and go, well, actually...
Yeah, this is, preview. No, I've got lots of different brainstorming. I don't really know. I've got different ideas of what I want the play to be, but part of some of them are like...
If you could just start performing the first act for us now.
Yeah,
the play's 2 hours long.
I think your viewers will be bored then. No, I don't know whether to go like comedy. I don't know whether to go like quite gritty. I feel like for me, I like to think I'm really funny, but I'm actually not. So probably the gritty side is probably better suited.
Well, even if, like for yourself, my advice might be something like create a shorter piece, like a really short piece, maybe even a 5-minute one, and take it to shorter festivals. Because like film festivals, there are stage festivals where people like myself will go buy a ticket and there'll be multiple acts on, and you have maybe 5 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever time slot you have. And at the end of the night, they vote and you can win necessarily best act sort of thing. Yeah. Maybe that might be something for yourself to look into.
I think that would be good. And I think finding the actors to be in it and stuff. So I might need you to do me a favour and be in that.
He's over there somewhere.
I think it's definitely something that I'd like to do. And I think now I'm used to teaching, I can prioritise that. Whereas I think the first few years of teaching and with COVID and everything, your head's just like all over the place.
Well, I suppose, like I said, it's a new sort of, as I'd call it, trade. It's a new thing. You start to get yourself settled, put your feet down, you know what you're doing now, and you can sort of reevaluate your other opinions, kind of like your play and things like that. So that's mainly what you want to go into, is it stage and theatre? And
I think, the dream is still there. I've always been told by all my family, which obviously they're not biased at all, but...
Did you just see that? Like, my family.
All my family.
I've been told by everyone.
I think I would be great in EastEnders. I think I've got the accent.
EastEnders? Oh.
Do you know what? When I was in Liverpool, everyone used to say to me, you're such an Essex girl. And I was like, I'm not Essex, I'm from South London. Or South London, should I say. And everyone used to say, no, you're an Essex girl because you wear eyelashes. I was like, just because I wear eyelashes does not make me an Essex girl. I'm not Essex. Oh, you'd be really good in EastEnders. You're from that area. I was like, I'm not from that area because that's East London. I'm from South London. Like the amount of times. So I think it's a sign that one day I'll make it. One day I will be in that square. Dreams are dreams, right?
At least you have your dream of wanting to be on something EastEnders.
Yeah.
It's a very long running show. You could be very successful. You don't know. Maybe again, someone's
Who knows? Not a...
But it's definitely something to pursue because they do regular castings for those sort of shows, especially smaller parts and lines and things like that, which you should definitely try and get yourself on the bandwagon for that sort of thing. But I know TV is a very tough game to get into.
It's so hard, isn't it? And like one of our neighbours used to be an extra in EastEnders.
Okay.
And every time you used to see him, he used to be like, oh my God, there he is. Oh my God, there he is. And then you'd see him next day again in the local Sainsbury's, like, buying his stuff. You're like, oh yeah, it's not really, like, it's great. But I was like, oh my God, I don't know how he's affording to do that because it's not very well paid either, is it? So...
It depends on, like you said, the acting job. If it's a Hollywood movie, then obviously it's different. But when it's something like that, you normally just get a basic day rate, and it includes your travel and you got to weigh that up of taking a day off of work of teaching or being in EastEnders. I'm sure you choose EastEnders every time, but
not if the students are listening or if my head teacher's listening. Definitely not.
I don't know what you're talking about. T's and C's comply. She's in every day. She's there early. She turns up at 5 a.m.
Honestly, they're early, leave late all the time. No, I love my job, but I think definitely I will.
No, I know what you mean. You have to, like myself and other people have been saying, you still have to have your day job. You still have to follow your passion. You have the passion, which is great. You want to follow your dream, which is great. It's just putting the groundwork in to go, how do I do it? Yeah. That's the hard part people stumble at because they go, oh, anxiety, stress. How do I do it? What do I do? Is it going to cost me money? Where do I find them back in the money?
And I think that is the stress of it, is like, then people just like, you overthink it and then you're like, oh, I'm not going to do it. I'm not even going to try. Whereas actually, like, the more you try, the more actually you mitigate those things, or you learn, oh, actually, I'm not into that anymore, or I want to do this, or I want to do film, I want to do this, I want to do that. But the stress of it and having the day job helps because obviously, you have got your bills and everything to pay. And actually, I'm quite lucky that my day job, I get to still show a bit of that passion. I get to read scripts. I get to think about scripts and be like, oh, I don't like that the way they wrote that, or I do like the way they wrote that, and things like that. So,
You still get the same scripts? Mine was Waiting for Godot and all them sort of ones.
They are, do you know what? So the fact is, my recent year 11s that just did their exams, one of the girls did the same monologue I did for my GCSE drama. And
Pardon me, okay.
I don't think I'm that old. I mean,
I was that surprised.
Yeah. I'm 26, which might be old to some younger listeners, but it's quite young to older listeners.
Not really in the acting world. That's very young. It's very
level. But I think so the fact that I was giving her the monologue I did for my GCSE drama, I was like, why have these scripts not changed? Like, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. But it was good. I could give her good notes. I got A-star in drama, so hopefully she gets it as well. The same was it in July. So
did that give you any? Did that make you smile though when she done the same performance as you?
Yeah, it did. It was like, and she was asking, like, she was like, Miss, I just don't get this, and then I was like, right, well, I did it like this, like trying to help, like, because obviously as a teacher you're not allowed to tell them what to do, like you've just got to sort of encourage.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
What would this character be thinking right now? What would this be? So you're trying to ask those like questions to get them thinking. But yeah, hopefully she gets a good grade. She deserves it.
You're standing at the back of the class and going, no, do it like this.
That's not how I did it. No, honestly, it was free reign. But yeah, no, they liked it. But no, all the same scripts, definitely. So,
okay, no, that's interesting to see, because obviously you think with content moving the way forward, it is and everything like that, that there might be some more modernisation of scripts, but it seems we're still doing the same.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, I think in terms of how the world is moving, like even like things like TikTok, influencers, everyone now wants to be an influencer, which is great. But I think the GCSE and the curriculum hasn't moved forward with that, so it stays where it is.
Yeah.
And then that's not benefiting anyone, because they're doing the same 1980 plays, which they still need to learn about classical plays. I get that.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
But there's a way of moving forward as well, and it's just not changed at all.
Mm-hmm. So. I can imagine I bet they haven't brought sort of technology into drama, have they? Or have they like more like making like, especially like you said about TikTok and influencing YouTube, so have they moved that side of things into drama yet? Sort of, about, because that'd be quite interesting, to be fair, going forward as performing arts, everything has gone creative, creator, phone, TikTok. It'd be quite interesting to see that come into play in a way.
So I think with drama, like with the curriculum, and I think any other drama teachers agree, like, so with Key Stage 3, so the younger years, like 7, 8s, 9s, you're basically free. You can do whatever you want. You're just preparing them for the GCSE. Mm-hmm. And it's when they hit year 10 and 11 that you've got to follow the GCSE course. So you've got to follow, right, they need to know Brett, they need to know Stanislavski, they need to know all of those people.
Well, I haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah. So I mean, when I went back into it, I was like, oh my God, they're still learning about these people. Okay, that's great.
Like, the anxiety.
Yeah. Literally. But so they still got to learn that. So then in the younger years, you're more free. So like in my school, we're really lucky. We've got a green screen. So part of our curriculum in the younger years, I'm going to do like a filming unit of it, because that's drama as well.
Yeah.
But actually at GCSE, it's not really like that. It's still, you've got to perform this play, you've got to write about this play, and you've got to do this. Like they get to make their own. So they get to create it, depending what example you're with, but they get to make their own. So a lot of them do pick technology, because I think that's the most relatable to them at this generation. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know, boys. Like people, previously, like Paul White, one of my first interviews. Hey, Paul. He is, I'm being nice, Paul, useless at technology. Like, you give him a phone.
He's only saying that on camera. No, I'm joking.
No, but he's sort of, you give him the phone and he'd take 3 weeks to reply because he forgot how to get into WhatsApp. But, he's still committed and turns up and things like that. But then obviously the younger generation, they have that access, they have the knowledge, because we've grown up with it. So it shows the growth in the generation, or especially us. Yeah. And everything like that. But no, like I said, it's really interesting to hear that you've went to Liverpool, you had a great time at university, because like I said before, I've had multiple people who I know at university and they didn't necessarily enjoy it or get the best experience out of it. Like you said, they went there, done the 3-4 years, and then went, I'm not, where's my agent, where's my everything? Yeah,
and I think that's definitely the hardest bit, and I don't know about other people, but so I come from a single parent, got an amazing stepdad, but so working, like my mum struggled a little bit when I was younger and stuff, but she was always so supportive, and even with uni, so supportive. And like, but I worked at uni, so I worked in a restaurant, I was waitressing, and then I'd go to uni in the day, I'd go to my rehearsals, I'd be rehearsing until 9 o'clock at night, then go to my bar job, and then work a bar, earn tips, and then go out with my money that I've earned from the tips. And then like some of the people I went uni with were like, oh, can't you just ask your mum for money? And I was like, if I ask my mum for money, it's not to go out, it's to live. Like, and I think it's just a different status of people. And a lot of people at drama school definitely come from Oh, but mummy and daddy are paying for that, and I'm not conning that at all. Like, that's good, but I think that's a hard thing as well when you go. That's probably one of the hardest things I found.
Well, it's different walks of life, isn't it, I suppose? And
yeah.
people don't always understand. I might not come from your background that you've come from. I've had to work slightly differently, come up different routes.
Yeah.
And sort of just understand that.
And that's the thing that I think that's why some people don't enjoy uni, is because there is such a mixture of people. And in drama school, it's not like a normal uni where people are like, oh, I only went into my 2-hour lecture today, or actually I didn't go in, I just slept. With drama, you're in 9 to 9, you're rehearsing, you're doing your tech runs, you're doing your dress runs, you're doing your after show things.
Especially for your end of year performance and
all of those things. So it's like things like that. In my course, we worked with a lot of community groups, so we had to like go off in different areas of Liverpool and get to know all of that, and then work with different groups. Each time you'd be put with different groups, you'd be like, right, okay, so one of my best friends, we're still best mates now, but then we had to work with people that probably worked a little bit differently to us. But actually then you start to learn how people work, just like in the industry. There'll be some directors that work in the same way and you get along with, and there'll be some directors that you'll think are really not nice, but actually they're just doing their job.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. It's sometimes you think maybe they're coming across a bit too strong, but in their mind they're just trying to say, can you please pick this cup up the way I want you to pick it up? Like it's like, because the camera's this way and I want you to just...
Yeah, and I want you to do... If you're seeing it from my point and we're seeing it, so it's just I think it's just that mixed bag of things.
Yeah. Well, no, at least you've had that experience of that, like I said, which helps you grow and meet new people and bond, and you want to go on for the play. Like you said, you've been doing the school run and everything like that. Or school run, you're still doing it. It's head teacher soon,
I mean, maybe a few more years. We'll see. I don't know about head teacher.
But no, let's jump onto something else, because I know you're a massive fan of it, and I know some guys out there will be a huge fan of this. Your passion is musicals, musical theatre.
It is.
Oh, the smile on the face now.
Of course, it is musicals. I love a musical. Cheese, jazz hands, all the way.
No, we just lost half the audience. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, I tried.
Don't worry, I'm not going to start singing. That really would tick you off.
It's going to turn into Glee now. We're going to...
My two-step's amazing, though, I must say. So.
But yeah, no, so is that something you maybe strive for as well? You're saying about obviously plays. Is it something maybe you're thinking, I want to do West End, or maybe I want to do... Have you thought about that, or have you not... Has it put you off a little bit, or...?
Do you know what? So I used to love musicals, and I still love them now. Like, I love them, literally my passion. But I think from being in a musical, so I broke my leg when I was in year 11, rehearsing for a show. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, I stopped dancing and things like that. And I think it just, even though my leg's fine now, like obviously it's fine, it just, I never did dance really much after that. And even like singing sort of stopped. Like, I went to a stagecoach and then I stopped after that because it just, obviously I broke my leg, so I had to stop for a few months. So I think the dream of being in a musical, of actually singing and being like a star in it, probably not, but I'd love to be in a musical of some sort. And I was thinking of doing like a amateur dramatics group or something like that, maybe. Again, but it's finding the time and finding the right one for you and stuff like that, because I'd like to get back into it, but...
Yeah, no, the only thing I'd say there is you never, like you were saying about you broke your leg and that was a great excuse, but you like you see plays in West Ends, it's a variety of ages, it's a variety of people. I don't think you'd ever say you're too old, you're too anything. I feel like if you're wanting to relearn, it's a perfect time. Especially out there, you've got YouTube people teaching you singing lessons now, dance lessons, you've got content out there. I think you get out what you put into it, and I feel like if you really pushed, I reckon you could really get back into it. And I know obviously it's tough when you're saying you've got school and that's Monday to Friday and you've got to do this and exams and writing and everything like that. But I feel like if you've jumped back into it and really pushed, I don't know, I reckon you could end up, honestly, even if it was an entry-level role on a West End play as the chorus to start with, and then you move from chorus to... That's like you said with the teaching. It was Spanish, and then you moved to Spanish to drama.
You've got to start somewhere.
Head of department and things like that. I think it might be something for you to definitely jump onto and try again with it. Obviously, you have to stop having nightmares about breaking your leg.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like PTSD in a way. I'm like, oh my God, I can't, because the last time I did like a proper musical.
But if that's what you want to do and that's your dream and your passion, and you, like you said, you love musicals, I know you do. Yeah. You should be out there. You should be there at the front row. You should be dancing away with those people up there.
Do you know what as well? I think as well, when I was younger, and actually in that way, I think everyone in musicals and in the West End and on stage and everything looked a particular way, and I didn't fit that
Right, okay.
that way. Whereas actually now I think people are coming away and actually there's all sorts of people, which is amazing to see. And actually because all sorts of people have all sorts of talents, so it's nice to see that. So I definitely think it is more of an open world now. So I think
it's definitely diversified over the years. It definitely has,
100%.
Everything that's been going on in the world and everything like that.
Yeah, and it needed to really. But yeah, so I think it's definitely one of the things that I think definitely if I get back into like some tap classes and some dance classes and singing lessons again, maybe get out there. But I don't know. Equally, I know very talented people that are still looking for jobs and are still waitressing because they still can't get on the West End, and it's like it's one of those. It's a circular.
The thing is,
you never know until you
they
try.
might go to an audition every day for a year and not get it. You walk in, no rehearsal, haven't sung like you said you've been teaching at school, and they go, "Wow,
you fit the one."
I dreamed about you last night. You think I'm joking? I've been to auditions before, and they've gone. I literally pictured you.
It's mad, isn't it? How
you might walk in and they go, "Yes, we want you."
But I always say that, and everyone that I speak to, it's like you just need one thing. Like one thing is gonna then take it off. Do you know what I mean? Like even with your stuff, like you're doing loads of different stuff, which is amazing because one day one thing will take off, and then it will help all the rest of it take off. It will. These listeners are gonna make it take off. I'm sure.
You can do it. You can do it.
Cheerleading.
But no, I really appreciate to hear that because sometimes, like I've mentioned before, it is hard to feel like you're in your little box.
Yeah.
You're working away, doing the stuff you're doing, and you sort of go outside in the outside world and.
Yeah.
Have I made an impact? Have I done anything to you? But then you have little glimpses of moments that people might be like, "Oh, that thing you did was really great." And you go, "Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is worth it."
Yeah.
And I think it's hard as well because I think with the performing arts industry, people like that aren't in it see, "Oh, this is a 20-minute podcast." But actually the setup of it and everything else like that, like it takes so much time and energy to like arrange it all, to get the people to come, to do all of that stuff. And it's like, that's what actually is valuable, and the skills are then valuable on top. But people just see it as people that aren't in the industry are like, "Oh, well done, that was 20-minute podcast, well done, like great." And you're like, "No, please give me more than that because I put so much into it." Do you know what I mean?
I give you a smiley face.
Yeah, I'll give you a thumbs up, that's it. I won't share it or anything. But you're like, please, like it takes you a second to share it, to cost like whatever to set it up. Do you know?
That is the problem. Like you said, sometimes, especially not so much this, but more a scripted project. Like you said, you might have to sit there, like you're saying, with your friend and write the script and plan it and get costumes in, do special things, spend the time filming it, editing it, release it, and go, yay!
Yeah, like you're like, please keep your fingers crossed, Like, yeah, it's a hard industry to crack, but as you say, it takes one thing and then it can boost, can't it? So
yeah, we just need to recreate the Hawk Tour girl moment, and we just need our own little. I said this on the last podcast. I just need to make up a new Hawk Tour. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I'm planning something big, but it's going to be something. I don't know.
Honestly, sometimes I'm like sitting on TikTok scrolling, and I'm like, I could do that, and then like I make a TikTok video, and I'm like, okay, it's got Jodie liking it, like thanks, your best friend support. Like you're like, all right, okay, obviously not as funny as I thought. Like as I said, I think I'm really funny, but obviously not appealing.
That's not even the thing. Like I said, you could probably be a really great performer, entertainer, have a really great video, but if you don't sometimes have the following or the right time, or all the people online who talk about the algorithms and you got to post at this time and then you got to turn your phone off and then you got to do a handstand and put your feet above your head and do a spinny dance and like it's true, some of the things that people say on TikTok is amazing, but some people just have it and some people
it's like some people have that knack and then some people
which is a great thing. But no, like I said, I could try and get you in some upcoming projects as well, because obviously we're always making stuff and trying to progress and move forward and investing in ourselves, because I want to try and move forward with it eventually, and obviously you want to try and do the play, and that's something definitely to look forward to, especially like you said, if you try and aim for, is there a goal with that, like I said about Fringe Festival, or is the goal just to make the play? Or
I think at the moment the goal is to actually finish writing it, because I've been saying it for like the last 2-3 years, but again I think the goal is to just write the play and then work out what I'm going to do with it.
So at the moment,
I'm hoping it's going to be more than like performing in my mum's garden, as much as I love my mum's garden, but I'm hoping it's going to be bigger than that.
Bring me sunshine.
Yeah. She's used to all my performances, but I hope it's going to be bigger than that. But yeah, we'll see. I think it'd be amazing to take it to Fringe. Like it would be like a dream, and then if it took off from there, obviously a bigger dream. But yeah, I think at the minute, let's get the play written and then see how we go.
Yeah, no, well, like I said, it's a start. I've got somebody else who's making a play for next year's Fringe Festival at the moment. I know a couple of people involved in that. Yes, Simon, I will mention you if you're listening.
Hi, Simon.
He'll get very upset if I don't say his name. He's part of a project next year, and he's sort of talking to me about it and things like that, and he's quite excited about it and the rehearsals for it.
Yeah.
I'm quite excited to necessarily see the outcome of that and what comes from that, because we can do, I was saying to other people lately, we can do a lot of these projects, a lot of things, sometimes maybe the content creation or short films, or I've done a lot of film festival films. I think we've made about 9 now.
Right, okay.
Some TV pilots, some short films, all amazingly by surprise have won awards.
They've been really successful.
Yeah, sort of thing. But then what?
Yeah.
And I was talking to other people about this. Like we've made these films, we've gone to film festivals or TV pilot. We've gone there, we've won some awards. They've been screened at certain places, but then nothing seems to materialise for some reason.
Yeah.
Where like these festivals advertise as, you know, we'll promote you and we'll get you out there and we'll get deals and we'll distribute and we'll do but there doesn't seem to be any
movement from that.
Yeah, sort of thing. And which is it is a shame, because obviously the reason you go to some of these festivals is to
build that.
To build that relationship, to get noticed, to get out there. But it's that hard thing of line, like you were saying before, about who do you trust, who do you not trust, and things like that. And obviously I've heard horror stories from other people as well, saying about they gave their project away, scripts, because they wrote it, they sat on it for years, and then they gave it to someone and then they sold it to somebody else for money, not silly money, and then it was made into an actual show.
Yeah.
And then they're sitting there going, oh God.
Yeah, and it's hard, because it's like, I think it's definitely an industry sometimes about who you know, not what you know. So I think sometimes you can be the most talented person, again, making the best sitcoms, best short films, best plays. You don't know that right person. Sometimes it's like, oh, whereas, someone will buy it off you, they'll know the right person, they'll sell it, and then they make the money, and they don't even give you the credit, and you're like, and it's mad, because most people actually in our industry are not like that, but there's a very few that are, and then that ruins it, and it tarnishes everyone, because then you are, who do you trust, who do you not trust, and actually that person that's like, come on, trust me, you're like, oh, do I don't know.
You have to wear your heart on your sleeve in the industry, you definitely do, especially doing the things you do. If you're going out in public and filming scenes, or being on stage performing to a large audience and things like that. We're saying a Fringe Festival, you're saying, kind of think now. Fringe Festival, I just had a couple of other friends who were just performing at the one that just finished. And Georgie, if you want to say, she was rehearsing with the play, sort of thing, standing in for the main actress, sort of thing, and then the main actress passed on it, sort of thing, I think a couple of weeks before it was meant to go Fringe, so she got the step up and got to be a part of it, which she was so excited about, and I'm so glad you did that and went to do that and sort of thing. But essentially, when she was offered that, it was just for rehearsals. She was only standing in, so from her giving her time and commitment, just saying, look, I'll come rehearse you because I know you need this actress, has led from her just being there, not being horrible, maybe a place filler, to being the person and being at the Fringe Festival. And you never know where things might take you. I know sometimes you think, oh, I might not do that, it's not a lot of money, but you really don't know where things, because you might meet someone on set. Happened a couple of times, I met people on set, and that's led to conversations, that's led to somewhere else, and that's led to another job. And you really have to keep an open mind. It can be hard sometimes, and they say, oh, we want you for 2 days and we're going to give you travel only. Yeah. And you're debating it, but it is true. And I think sometimes as well, again, sometimes it might not take off instantly, but there could be that one person that will watch that advert and be like, do you know what, that person looks like the perfect person for my next film. Like, how do I get in touch with him and stuff? I thought you were referring to me then, to that Spotify advert I did. Oh. that was another thing that did the ITV movie Spotify advert. I was in it for 5 seconds, literally 5 seconds, and everyone knows me from that. Yeah. The things I've done, like have small roles in films, maybe a TV show, the award-winning pilots, things like that. No. You was the geezer from that car advert, weren't you? I was watching a movie last week, and that was you, wasn't it? Thanks. Yeah, cheers. Yeah. To be fair, my other half spotted it. We were watching something, and he was like, "Is that Jamie?" I was like, "What?" No, that'd be stupid. It was too late by that point. That'd be stupid, yeah. Then we round it, and then fast forwarded it. I was like, "Oh my god, it's Jamie! I know him." I was like, "I know that person." My claim to fame. I was like, "Yes, go on." But yes, it was a good advert. It was very popular. It was a good advert. I literally just turned around and was like, "Hey!" And that's all you had to do to be recognised. The Fonzie. But yeah, no, like it just sort of leads into, as I was saying, about you never really know where things are going to take you. Yeah. Like I said, that for me was just, I obviously am really grateful for work I get through commercial stuff, but it's not what I'd love to do. It's not my passion.
Yeah.
Some people love doing it because they love the experiences, meeting new people, of commercials.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm really aiming to try and TV and film
Nice.
roles and things like that, and try and get into that side of the industry. So for that experience for me, I was kind of like, okay, let's just sort of shoot it, and then coming away from it again, not thinking anything about it, and it was the thing that
did it. Yeah. But that's what I mean. You have got to start somewhere, and the more things you do, the more people you know, the more contacts you make.
Yeah.
And in the industry, the more people you know, the more successful you're likely
and then
to be. But
I know, and then especially when you get, I've had it quite recently, quite a few adverts that get cancelled after you film them.
Oh
like,
no, really?
yeah,
Does that happen? I didn't know that happened.
Quite regularly. I've had other actor friends who unfortunately had the same issue, and it's
no,
legitimate work through big production companies, through agencies,
Yeah.
through it's all lined up. It's not sort of a back alley production. It's all big production companies, but for some reason you go there, you film it and everything like that, and it never gets released. I've had about 4 or 5 commercials now that I've done that have never.
I didn't actually know that happened. I thought if it was like in the final.
I'm not sure if it's they take the product to them at the end and show them, and they go, we're not quite happy with that. We'd rather not release it. I'm not quite sure what happens, but they must have approved the project for them to have hired the production company.
Because it costs a lot of money to hire all of that stuff.
Agreed what they want essentially filmed and everything like that, and then to the end of it go, actually I'm not quite.
Yeah, that's a harsh job. Whoever's doing that job, sitting in the back office, like, no, not good enough actually. Like, that's harsh, isn't it? Yeah, I thought once it got to like the final stages of filming it,
nothing's ever safe, especially with movie and TV roles. Same principle there. You might go and film a film.
Yeah.
One scene in a film, and you come to watch the film and go, where's it gone?
Yeah. Where am I? Why did they go? Yeah.
I've filmed a couple of TV pilots. Exactly the same thing. I've gone and filmed them, and then gone to see them because they've had a premiere sort of thing up London. Gone to see them, and then like half of the stuff, the scenes I was in, things like that, were just
that's so
great. Oh, okay, and
you like
especially annoying when you work really hard and you actually get a script and you have lines and it's not just sort of walking past in the background, things like that. Where you have to go in auditions and sort of fight.
And
for
you
yourself.
put in all that time and effort.
Yeah,
into
yeah,
it,
and then they cut parts of it, and you're like, I understand it's for the greater good. For the greater good. Hot fuzz quote there.
Yeah.
Just the wrong accent. Oh, I don't.
Slightly. Accent's not your forte. No, I'm joking.
Oh my god. Oh god. But yeah, no, that was a terrible impression. What was that? I feel ashamed. I am ashamed.
I think he should be. I'm joking. I don't even know the accent. I couldn't do it either. Accents are not my forte. So.
I've completely forgot what we were talking about. I know it was commercials, but
yeah, it's gone out of my head. Now all I can think about is accents, I was like thinking about different accents I can and can't do.
Oh no, sorry, it was about TV pilots, but and things like that. But unfortunately, it does happen. I understand, like I was saying, it's for the greater good.
Yeah.
Of we might need to shorten it. We need this bit. It's not relevant to this thing. I understand it's a bigger picture. It's not about yourself, but when you're trying to
boost yourself as well.
Be seen and be like, look, this is what I can do. This is maybe for my show reel. Look, you're trying to impress people to be able to get the next job, move forward. It is very cutthroat, especially with the gatekeepers. I've noticed trying to produce Sunday League, going to studios, and the gatekeepers do not want to let you in. I don't know why. I feel like they're scared you're going to take their job. I really don't want your job. I just want you to let me in to talk to the people.
Sometimes it's hard, isn't it? Because I think everyone like lower down in the industry is sort of, they're told what to do. So don't let these people in, don't let people in that do this, don't let this in, don't let that in. And then they take that and they don't budge. Whereas actually you're like, just give me a chance because I can prove you wrong. And they don't. And it's it's frustrating.
Well, especially like the Queen's Gambit, that Netflix, when it came out, was absolutely massive. But the writer for that was trying for years before that. I believe I was reading something about it that he went to BBC, he went to IAV, it was a no, he got rejected. They said no. But he kept pursuing it, and he took it to Netflix. They read it and took it on, and at the year it came out, it blew up, didn't it? Everyone knew about the Queen's Gambit, and everyone watched it, and it was a good series, to be fair. But to think other people passed on that because it was like, who wants to watch a show about chess? Well, apparently they do.
Yeah, but it's even like the story of like the Rocky story. Do you know what I mean? Like one of the most famous. Like he kept trying, and then people like, yeah, like the script, but you're not going to be in it. He was like, no, I'm not doing it unless I can be in it, and he kept pushing. and then now look how do you know what I mean? And sometimes I think it is just getting that right person. And yeah, as you say, you could go to Amazon one day and then Bob's working. Bob don't like it. The next day, Dave's working. Dave is like, yeah, that's great, and Dave's the one that signs it. So it's like, keep trying every
What day's Dave working again? Let me.
I don't know. I don't know if Dave does work at Amazon, but if you do, I'm sure you're doing a great job, and you'd love Sunday League, so sign it. No, but do you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's why sometimes it might not work at first, but then if you try a couple of months later, if there's someone new or someone they've got a different set of eyes,
of course,
they've seen something else that actually is taken off, that they're like, oh, actually, that would fit now, or that would work.
Of course, like I said, the Sunday League project has been at Amazon Prime for months, like a week, for months. I think it might have been, I want to say maybe 4 months, maybe longer than that now.
Yeah, because it felt like a while you did your...
Yeah, and it's obviously sat with them at the licensing stage to be licensed still, which is really interesting from my point of view, that I've been hearing people talk about it, because most of it went to some people and they sort of said, oh, I put something on Amazon, sent it to them, and they shut it down in a week, and oh, mine got shut down that same day I sent it to them. And so I'm intrigued that it's still there. I'm kind of at the back of my mind like, maybe they just forgot about it, you know.
Sometimes no news is
forget
good
about
news.
it.
Just forget about it.
No,
but
if you know what I mean.
No news is good news, so hold on to that. Like,
I understand that, but like I said, I've got this little thing at the back of my mind, like maybe they just forgot, and you know, they're going to go, oh, that's on a league, delete. you know. But I'm hoping it's, if you're listening, Amazon Prime, it's being deliberated.
Dave needs to get in touch.
I hope it's still being deliberated though, and I hope the reason it's still waiting for licensing is because maybe they're looking at it and thinking, oh, let's do something special with this.
I don't know, could you send them like a chase up email, be like, hey, just under... It's a bit daunting, isn't it?
It's just not so much daunting. When I was chasing up BBC, I sent BBC like 6 emails, I think. When I was with ITV, I sent them like 7 emails, and they do not like emailing you back. Yeah. Understandably, they are so busy. They have hundreds of thousands of people emailing them. Everyone's got great ideas. But when it's you personally and you've made this project and you believe in it, you're like, please, come on, just talk to me about it. Get me in the room. I'll explain it. Yeah. Even if you don't like this exact pilot that we made the idea, we can change it, we can alter it, we can refilm it.
Even if they give you some feedback, like, do you know what, this is good, but it wouldn't fit this audience, maybe a bit of something like this, and then you could go and work on it and then make it what they want. Like,
ITV was my favourite one. I got a really nice, big email back from them. I was really surprised, to be fair. We really liked Sunday League. We thought it was really funny. We we showed it to multiple people in the office. We really like your style, the concept, the characters are relatable, blah, etc., etc. And then just you twiddle it, and then right at the end. But unfortunately, it will not work in our ecosystem here at ITV. And I just the time it took you to read that email, you probably could have made another pilot. Like, it's sometimes but at least they did respond. It's hard. It was a nice email, but at the same time, it was because you're reading this nice email that they've sent. They took the time out to send you an email, review it, and say, you know, it's blah blah blah. But to end on, it won't work in our ecosystem. Well, hang on a minute. You just said you liked it. You thought the characters were relatable.
So why won't it work? Like, why won't it work?
So obviously, I did email them back and try and contact them, etc., etc. Just say, you know, what can we do to make it work in your ecosystem? Is it change the script? Is it refilm it? Is it come up with a different concept around this sort of idea? Or obviously just back. The one and done email of like, we replied to you. You know, you had your 5 minutes. Now go sit in the corner and put the hat on.
Be quiet. Yeah. It's such a shame though, and that's what I mean. That then I think because it is so hard, and people hear that it's so hard, that it stops other people from trying. But actually, you have just got to keep trying. Like, but it's tiring to keep trying.
It's that
to keep getting knocked back.
Yeah. How long can you keep pushing for? How long can you keep trying for? It's easier said than done when you have money and studios and funding behind you. But I at the moment in time don't necessarily have that. So everything has to be funded or found or sourced internally for like an independent film, and that can be really, really stressful. To make Sunday League was really, really stressful, and I've gone all grey from just talking about it. Not even making it, just talking about it. I've got a hot sweat now. But that for me was really stressful, because not because I wasn't enjoying it, but for me, I was trying to do it from the point of view of not keep it small, but I wanted to control a lot of it. So I was trying to do the costumes myself, do the locations myself, write the script myself, trying to act in it, and I write the film tune, I sing the film tune. But obviously, it's fair enough if you have a great team behind you, which I did have a really nice team who helped me make this project possible. But it was really, really stressful trying to, especially for me, it was my first larger project using the larger sort of Netflix approved cameras, bigger crew, a bigger, there was the first time I controlled a set where there was at least 100 people on set at once.
Wow, yeah.
And that was daunting building up to that
Yeah,
sort of day. It was a lot of stress, sort of, ooh, I've got all these people and it's essentially it's my money and I can't afford to reshoot this and I can't afford to renegotiate location and all the effort it took to get the actors and the crew and all the equipment and everything there for that day to film. I can't afford to, everything has to go perfect. We have to get everything done. And obviously, of course, we didn't get everything done.
No,
we went there, we missed things, and a certain camera didn't work one day, and this didn't work.
But even that pressure, like, everything's got to be perfect. Like, sometimes life isn't perfect, right? So sometimes things aren't perfect, and then that happens. But then you're always, I hope you're not doing this because it was a really good pilot. But like, then you're always gonna be like, oh, I wonder if I did do that. If that did go perfect that day, would that be different? Would that be a different story? And I think that's something that in the industry, you're always reviewing yourself. You're always looking back at, oh, if I was in that musical and I didn't kick my leg that high, I wouldn't have done that, or this wouldn't have happened, or I wouldn't have fell over on stage, and all of these things. And I think that's the hard thing, is that we're always aiming for perfection, and actually sometimes you can't, but sometimes things aren't perfect and they still do take off. So
but sometimes the imperfection is what makes it.
And then sometimes it makes it better. Sometimes you improv it and then you're like, oh, actually that was better than
no, especially when we was filming Sunday League, I was telling the camera ops, I was just saying, when we finish a scene or if it messes up or something goes wrong, keep going. Don't, because some people like to, right, we stop, cut, let's move on. I was like, keep going, because they might have something magical that suddenly happens that wasn't scripted, kind of like what happened with The Office when sometimes they used it. Just let it roll, see what happens, and then let them get back into it, and it might. And there was quite a few moments that actually made it into the project that weren't scripted, that were mistakes, but worked, and you wouldn't know. Yeah,
but even things like, if you look at things like Friends, like one of the biggest sitcoms, some of the stuff.
I've never heard of it.
I
don't.
Oh, I'll be there for you all the time. No, but I think they, like, some of the most famous scenes from that were not scripted. They were the improv scenes. Like, and I think that goes to show that actually the imperfections do make it, and actually make it long lasting and more memorable in people's minds. So yeah.
But so when are you making your TV pilot?
I'll leave you to the TV. I'll do theatre, you do TV, and then we'll try and help each other out along the way. It sounds too stressful for me.
No, but anyone out there who's necessarily thinking about going down that avenue, I wouldn't say not do it. It is a great venture to try and attempt yourself. It's a great learning experience, especially trying to do it without a studio, because I didn't have anyone over my head at the time saying, don't do this, don't say that, don't do the blah, blah. We did tame it back a little bit ourselves, because we thought, oh, maybe BBC might not want it because we said this and we said that, and which I regret a little bit, because we did take, I feel, a lot of the good comedy moments, that sort of like in between the style moments, where it was a bit more ruder, for where we took those sort of moments out, because like, oh, BBC won't want that, because it's a bit...
and then you overthink it and stuff. But if you don't know, you don't try. And again, it's like that thing that you were saying about expressing yourself. You try and express yourself in the best way possible, and you thought that expressing it and maybe taking those bits out would be better at that time, and then you can't. I don't think you can doubt that decision, because that was the right decision for that moment.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Well, like I said, I hope in the future something comes back, even if Amazon came back and said to me, look, we don't want Sunday League, but we see your ambition, your drive, what you've done without a studio or for your own little team. Let's bring you in for a meeting, let's have a talk, maybe we can bring you onto another project or anything like that. It's just, like you said, it's a leapfrog situation of just like... It is. You just got to keep trying, and anyone that is trying to go into the industry, it is a just keep pushing. And again, even with yours, as you say, Amazon might not like Sunday League, but they might think, oh, do you know what, actually he's good, or you send them another one and they think, oh, it's Jamie Vaughan again. Oh, it's like, do you know what I mean? Like, your name will become like... He's like, why does he keep trying? Like, they'll appreciate it. One day they will, and I'm certain on that. Like, and you've got to keep trying. You've got to manifest it will happen, and it will. For sure. Yeah, like I said, you keep pushing. Obviously, it sometimes does get hard. Yeah. As I spoke about previously, like, it can be hard keeping up with everything like that. It can be tough, like the rejection coming forward, and keep, as much as you want to keep pushing, then it's every time you push, it's that rejection. Push rejection. You've got to keep getting on that horse, riding it, 2 steps forward, one step backwards. Essentially, I say
all the time.
It can be really tough, but you just got to go. You got to have that motivation, keep pushing, keep going.
Yeah.
Have that. Obviously, I know a lot of people who I went drama school with, acting classes, this, that, the other, and practically none of them are currently still doing it, unfortunately, because they sort of, you notice it over the years, getting older, and people get houses and mortgages, people drop off, and people. It was great.
Real
I enjoyed
life gets
it.
in the way sometimes. Like
it does, unfortunately, but it's a shame because some of the people. I had someone's dad come up to me a little while ago. I was out just doing a walk and I saw him in the shop, and he just said to me, "You see what you do? I'm so jealous. I'd absolutely love to do what you do." He said, "I love drama in school." He said, "I think what you're doing is great, doing the acting, the content, what you're doing." He was like, "Me in school, I absolutely love drama." He said, "But I had to give it all up because I had to get a job, a house, a wife, the kids, and I couldn't. It wasn't happening for me." But he's just like, "I really hope it happens for you." And that was a really nice moment for me because I was like,
nice,
"You watch me?"
You know me and like me. It's such an industry that I think people either like love or hate you, and I think you can inspire people even if you're not the top director yet.
That's his favourite yet.
You can still inspire people to do that and chase their dreams and actually follow it and keep trying and keep trying and keep trying, and then one day it might not be, but then one day you'll look back and be like, "Oh, do you remember this pilot we did? Do you remember that we did? Do you remember that we did?" Like, it's all really good experience for you, and at the end of the day, you're getting to enjoy your passion and put it into other people.
That's admittedly what we was doing a couple of weeks ago with the Clark and Bourne stuff. I was messaging Ben's mum because Ben's mum absolutely loves some of the old content we used to do.
Yeah.
And I was watching some of it and I was in tears, like, "Oh my God, like we look so young, we were so raw, just using minimal equipment," and just like I was like, "Oh my God, just
what you were capable of, like."
No, but when we was there at the time, we was just having fun.
Yeah.
But then looking back on it now, it's like, oh my God,
we
really did try, and you really did push yourself, and I'm glad we had that venture together. And obviously we don't do it anymore, but I'm really glad that we had that time together and we tried that and we experimented, and it's led to making these other projects and taught me a lot of things, and met the people along the way who taught me things. But it is reminiscing is the right thing to look back on and go, wow, man, when I did that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was quite good. That was a pot of gold. And
that's what I mean. Like, what I did there, like, wow, what a story. Do you know what I mean? Be like when you're old and be like, back in the day, I did this, and this, and people be like, no way. Like, do you know what I mean? And you did do it, so that's an amazing thing.
Like I said, my fame to claim, but like grandkids, look at me in this spot. Yeah.
It's gonna be me. Be like, I knew that boy. Be like, okay.
But yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from in relation to that. It can be tough, it can be daunting.
Yeah.
But like I said, just keep pushing, just keep trying. Like I said, I'd love to see you with your own musical. Is it going to be a musical? Is it your play?
If I've got any songwriters out there, jump on board. But at the moment, I'm not talented.
But like I said, maybe in a year's time, this conversation has inspired you, and in a year's time, you're turning around and sending us tickets and going, "Look, we're actually at Fringe Festival." Do you remember when I was being silly and sat next to you and went, "I want to write a play," and maybe my dream would be take it to Fringe, and I'm actually going.
I think this actually has really inspired me, and no one should probably know this, but I was quite nervous before we started this.
No!
Just a little bit, but actually it has inspired me to actually think, do you know what? Yeah, you need to make time to follow your dream, because no one else is going to make the time for you. No one else in your day job is going to be like, do you know what? I think you should really go home and follow your dream. Like, you have to do that for yourself. So yeah, it has. That's
what I was saying earlier on about sometimes you get put in a box.
Yeah.
And you don't realise until you open the door, smell the fresh air, see the trees, and go, "Oh,
this is what." Yeah.
There is more to it, and you can get stuck in your day job, like you said. It's just day turns into 2 days, turns into a week, turns into a month, and then you go, "Oh, I haven't really done anything," and you can get really, like you said, everything else gets in the way, unfortunately, and then your dreams slowly fade away.
Yeah, they do, and then it's not until years later that you're like, "Oh, I remember when I said I was going to write that play, and I never did it." Like.
Yeah. But like I said, I hope in a year's time. You're at Fringe Festival, you've got your own play with you said the other person you're writing it with, or the crew, whatever you have. I really hope that it's there, or I hope that it's being performed somewhere like Bromley Theatre or a smaller theatre, and I hope and we'll be there, back row in the dark, lurking.
Back row, front row tickets all the time. With your popcorn.
No, but I really hope that happens for yourself, because that's the point of essentially this podcast and this thing, to get yourself out there. Talk to people, because sometimes, like you said, you get put in a box, and sometimes you just need that person to talk to for 5 minutes and say, "Look, you are good. You can do it. Why aren't you doing it? Why are you not on the West End? Why are you not on the West End?
Yeah, it is those questions, isn't it? And I think it's hard because when I talk to other people, I'm like, you've got to chase streams, do it. And when someone says it to you, you're like, yeah, no. Do you know what I mean? You never take your own advice. Like,
but what is that? Is
people that advice.
Is that a mental block for you though? Of like I said, like I was saying now, why aren't you on the West End? What is it? Is it anxiety? Is it scared? Is it mental block? Is it that you're scared to do it? Is it that you're scared you might fail at it?
I think it's that fear of rejection and failure, definitely. Mm-hmm. Like, because you're like, how can you give up everything that's stable and good and whatever to then go and do that and then get rejected? And then people are going to be like, come on, you're getting on now, you're like, your clock's ticking, all of this stuff. But actually, we are still young. Like, we still should be chasing our dreams and stuff. So, again, if I was to ask someone else that, I'd be exactly the same. But when someone says it to you, it's really hard to take your own advice.
But like the song says, life is a highway.
It is. That's true. It is, yeah.
And I don't think people say, oh, I'm too old or I'm too this. I just, no, you're not. No. You're not. Honestly, go out there and fight for what you want. Like I said, I'm hoping the next year you have got a play out, or you're auditioning for West End plays, or you've got singing lessons done, or you've gone down to part-time at the school because you've got a job. Obviously, things like that, you shouldn't worry about your day job in terms of that at the minute, because like you said, it's early stages at the minute. You don't know where things are going to lead. You might write this play and it go take off, and you're like, well, I don't need to worry about that. I've got this lined up. Obviously, I know it's daunting now, thinking, oh, where's paycheck going to come from? Like... But you shouldn't worry about things like that in these early stages. You've got to ride the waves, let it happen. Yeah. If it happens, it happens. Like myself, obviously, you know, I've been trying for a long time and doing this and doing that, and it just means I'm rubbish. But
ambitious is what we like.
But it doesn't happen overnight.
No,
to take it from me, it really doesn't happen overnight. And like I said, I do a lot of remote auditions, I do a lot of this and a lot of projects, and you don't get 100% of the chances you don't take. And like I said, you might meet someone who's, like I said earlier on, audition every day for a year. No, you walk in and they go, it's you, we want you. I literally envisioned yourself for this role.
I'm hoping you're manifesting this for me and this is actually going to come true. I feel like that's what's going to happen now. Actually, you have really inspired me, like genuinely, because I feel like I'm going to go out, look up some Amjam groups, look up how to write a play, like all those things, get my notebook out, all my brainstorms, and be like, right, first act, let's go tonight.
All I'm picturing is the scene from Between Us where he comes in the house, goes upstairs, gets to his bed, what's for tea, mum? Ah!
I'm not following my dreams. Honestly, I got on holiday Friday. All I'm going to be thinking about is like, right, what am I going to do for that first act of that play?
See, unfortunately, me, like Jim Henson, because I watched that Disney Plus documentary about Jim Henson. Jim Henson could never switch off. Whether he was on holiday, sitting there at work, he was always around and around. And I feel like I see a little bit of myself in that, because I go to work and I can't switch off. I'm thinking about, how can I write a script? How can I make more content? How can I make the podcast better? How can I bring you on? What should I ask you? When should I post it? How should I edit it? Should it be, I'm just always, which is a bit of a nightmare, if I'm honest, at the same time, as a motivation of, it's great, keep pushing. It is a bit of a nightmare because I don't know when to switch off at the same time.
And it's hard. To have that switch off is hard. And I think it's hard, but it's important as well, because if you switch off, you'll switch off and then come back to it with fresh ideas. Like, do you know what I mean? And then it'll be fresher, but it's easier said than done because I don't switch off either. And it's a lot easier said. Again, I don't take my own advice. So I can tell you all these wonderful things, but I don't listen either. So yeah, I get where you're coming from.
No, that's perfectly fine. But no, it's been real great having you on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's been great
really,
fun.
You was very, like I said, you was very nervous about coming on before. Nervous, she was texting me going, oh my God, what am I going to talk about? Come on.
I've really tried not to fidget as well. I think on TikTok people are going to be like, why does she keep fiddling with her hands? Because I was nervous, but I was trying not to be. So I
thought you was dancing at one point.
I was like, this chair is really like...
I'm so glad we WD-40 that chair.
Honestly, I feel like it's swinging.
But no, like I said, you was really nervous to come and do this today because you haven't been in this side of the industry for a little while now, and you're just jumping back into it. But like you said, it went really well. I think you had some really great points come across, and obviously anyone else who's looking to get into teaching, obviously if you want to ask her any more questions or anything like that later on, we can try and get her back on if she wants to come back on after a holiday, if she ever comes back.
Not sure, might be jet setting off, staying at Ibiza, who knows.
But like I said, I really hope to see your play out or something out next year. Hopefully this has motivated you, and
So right, by next year you'll be famous. You won't know me then. You'll be like, sorry, I'm off to Cannes Film Festival. I'm off here. I'm doing this. I'm doing that.
Okay,
It'll
bye.